What's up, you sad fucks? Alright, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
To activate this new form, you will need to have your Pokemon to at least level 50. And on top of that, give them a new item, which of course I've not designed yet. But this will stop them from ever evolving and let them change to this new form whenever they enter a battle. Kind of like how you can't use Terrapagos's base form, you can only use its Terra Shift form, if that makes sense. These new forms are going to be called Metamorphosis, or Revel Metamorphosis, or whatever I think of, because I am bad at naming things. When these Pokemon change forms, they gain a certain amount of new stat points. If you have 300 base stats or less, you'll get 200 more stat points. If you have 400, it's 150, and if you have any more than 400, you'll get around 125. These Pokemon are going to be given a whole new concept, and with that new concept, new abilities and completely new typings. Some cases even losing, well, in most cases, losing their original typing altogether. Starting us off, we've got Jupiter. This new Jupiter form leans into the idea of a plasma ball, if you've ever seen one of those, while it's also giving it a sort of scepter-like body. Almost like a wizard staff, I want to say. It's wrapped in leaves, and its original bug-like body is now complete wood and timber, whilst that water bubble is now a glass bubble filled with its electronic energy. This design I tried to work on using the idea of, plasma balls, scepters, the woodlands, rather than going into what Jupiter is, in the sense that it's a swimming spider. I tried to flip what it originally was into something new. This new Jupiter form kind of copies Araquanid's stats, but more defensive, with more offensive prowess, and a lot more special defense. This is because Jupiter's going to get a similar ability to Water Bubble. Plasma Bubble stops Pokemon from being burnt on your side of the field, not just yourself, and doubles the power of Electric-type moves used by this Pokemon only. This is basically just an electric version of Water Bubble, which I think fits this design and is very broken, especially on something that has better stats than Araquanid. Not that much better, but, more usable, I guess. Will this design be good? Probably. I can't say who knows. It's probably going to be very good, very usable, and very good for physical partners in the VGC, considering how they can't be burnt now because of your new ability. This new form doesn't really change what Magikarp is, rather than make it more of what Gyarados is. This is leaning into that koi fish idea where the story where the koi fish jumps over the waterfall, becomes a dragon. This is basically what we were expecting Gyarados' typing to be. It becomes dragon flying and gains basically more stats ever except for speed. I do think over 100 stats in pretty much all 4 of its attacking and defending stats is pretty good for this thing. 105 in both of its defenses, 110 in attack, 100 in special attacks. I think this might outclass Gyarados even. Now the ability is where this thing gets interesting. Hydro Monarchy sets Reflect, Light Screen, and Rain upon entering the field, because why the fuck not? Why don't we make the fish fucking insane as soon as it hits the field? You get Aurora Veil and Rain upon entering. This is just better Kyogre. What have I done? I should be ashamed for making this thing. I've probably just ruined Pokemon by making this. If this ever becomes a real thing, we are fucked beyond belief. Murkrow was actually the first design I made for this. By accident. This is really what got me into making this sort of Fakemon idea, because I drew this for Winds and Waves and got too lazy to make Honchkrow. And the stats I gave for it might be a bit too much, considering its ability that I'm going to reveal. It's like the others, really. It's not fast, but every other stat it has is good enough to make it better than its final evolution, I think. Because its ability is Sulfur Leak. This is just neutralizing gas, but it gives fire type moves 50% chance to poison. Yeah, you see what I meant now when I said I gave them broken abilities. I feel like every single Goldango player is going to hate me because of this. Now, I think the problem with this one is that I'm only 5 base stats higher than the original Naganadel, so this is just pretty much a reskin. Barely stronger, probably a lot more frail. Would this be better? I hope it would. It's got a better typing, and it's got a much better ability than the base Naganadel, if you're going to see right now. That being said, I do think my Poipole design may be even better than that Murkrow one. The idea here is that this is supposed to be what it genuinely looks like in its own dimension, considering how Poipole comes from another world. This is what you'd see. This is what you would expect to see if you were from the world that Poipole comes from. And here we have Aura Guard. It's Beast Boost and Wonder Guard. I think I'm clinically insane for making this ability. It does make it better than, base Naganadel, but it also probably makes it better than any other Ultra Beast in the game. It also has Shedinja's typing. That's not lost on me. I did just give it that typing, so it wouldn't be too insane with this ability, considering how many weaknesses Bug Ghosters have, but it's still fucking insane. And that's all I really have for you today. Some of these Pokemon are much stronger than others. Some of them are much stronger than the final Evos. So in order to balance the gap between the final Evo and the new form, I'm probably going to have it so you can't have the Evo and the new form. Once you choose to use the new form, you can no longer evolve your Pokemon. I kind of just want people to use this as a way to use their cuter, smaller partner Pokemon over their stronger mons, sort of to make people not really want to evolve some of their Pokemon. These are just first Evos that I kind of prefer either over the final evolution, or I prefer the entire line I want to use.
But that is all I have for today, so see ya.